Hey everybody, it's the Herb Guy with the Elder Herb Shop, and welcome back to Where Science Meets Nature, a channel where we discuss the medicinal value of plants and other natural substances found in nature all around us, with a little bit of science thrown in because we can. Today we're going to talk about this plant right here. It's called boneset. Boneset is a really cool plant. It is native to North America. It is a member of the daisy family. It is found everywhere on the northern half of the United States. I know it'll be a little bit hard for you to see, but I need to get these plants out. I'm not necessarily worried about the roots. If we happen to get some, that's great. It'll be something for us to look at and go over. That is not what we want. Oh yeah, that's good. Alright. We just happened to find this the other day. Thought it was pretty awesome. Got a fairly decent haul there. I'm really trying to save it because some of these are going to seed. We can save the seeds. We can make more for next year. Now the parts of the plant that are normally used are the leaves and the flower. And nowadays, the plant is typically used for fever reducing, anti-inflammatory issues. Since it's native to North America, there's another one that's in our driveway. As you can tell, it's in really good condition. And we're going to keep it here until it goes to seed. There's a really good close-up view of the flowers. And before they bud. Alright, let's head on over to our handy dandy table that we do all of this stuff on. Grass is really wet this morning. Our chickens are now laying eggs, and they are rather frustrated because they're stuck in their pen all day. But we have our nesting box in. You can kind of see. I know, what does that have to do with herbs? Not really a whole lot. Alright, so we're back to our table where we do all this stuff at. The parts that are commonly used are the leaves, and if I can find one that's not all ate up with bugs, I can give you a pretty good idea of what the leaves look like. There's one that's not so bad. You can see it's arrow-shaped. The leaves themselves crisscross. If you can see, this one goes here all the way up, similar to St. John's wort. St. John's wort does the same thing. If you're going to dry these plants, it's best just to hang them up by the roots. The roots look very similar to a wild carrot or a dandelion, but they do have a lot of the hairier parts that come off. But there is one main root right here, roughly about as big as your pinky. The stem comes up, and then you'll get your leaves and your flowers. Now, I don't really want to use these particular flowers for anything quite yet. We're going to let them dry, and they will go to seed. Some of the other things that this plant is really good for, it's good for rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation, pain. It's good for constipation. I kind of call it a jack of all trades kind of herb because it helps with so many different conditions. At this point in Europe, they use it for flus and cold. It works really well for bronchitis and pneumonia. Native American tribes even used it for snake bite, as a snake bite remedy. And that kind of makes this plant really useful in many different ways. Since the bug's got quite a few, we'll end up with some leaves. It should make a fairly decent extract. You can see it's a good bundle. I have some other places to be today, so I'm going to go search and see if I can get some more and bring it in. Now, in regards to the science, I am going to go through some science today on this particular plant. Since it was found in North America, there's not a lot of information here in the United States in regards to, well, there is, but not that's well known in regards to how beneficial this plant can be. See if I can get a good picture of that flower. But I do have some science that they've gone through, some studies that show that this particular plant can help stimulate white cell production in your body. It can help destroy microorganisms in the blood faster. There's a lot more things that we can do with this, and if you give me a few minutes, I have to get this stuff processed, get it ready to tie up and dry, and then we'll get back to the office and we'll go over some science. Hang on a moment, folks. Dr. Richard Whelan, an Australian herbalist, has put together a really incredible website in regards to the medicinal value of plants. And in his entry on bone set, he listed one of the studies, and the study said that European studies show that bone set helps treat viral and bacterial infections by stimulating white blood cells to destroy disease-causing microorganisms more effectively. So what they mean is it has an immunostimulating property to our bodies, which makes our bodies better able to fight off bacteria and illness. In fact, in much of Europe, bone set extract is used to treat conditions like bronchitis, pneumonia, common colds, the flu. It's even been used to treat swine flu when the swine flu epidemic was such a big thing several years ago. This is a very powerful antimicrobial herb and should be considered for everybody's medicine cabinet. There was even a study done as to its effectiveness as an anti-inflammatory agent, and it worked so well that they put it in their Journal of Ethnopharmacology in the 1st of September 2011. After testing bone set, they found that its anti-inflammatory effects can be seen as a verification of the traditional use against inflammatory diseases, which goes to show that you can find a lot of the things that you need for your body right there in your front yard. So now that you've heard about some of the medical properties of this plant, it's a great time to go out and harvest some. Now, if you don't really know how to harvest plants, you can do kind of what I did and pull them up out of the ground. And I'll go ahead and include a link to our mullein video that I did earlier and the shoestring method of harvesting, drying, and processing plants. It's like a 10 or a 15-minute video, if that, so you'll be able to get through it really quick. If you have this plant, this is certainly one you want to keep. If it's going to seed, save some of the seeds and you can plant it again for next year. You certainly would recommend going out today and getting some. Well, as usual, I have just about talked myself out for the day. So if you've liked this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our great content. I hope everybody has a great and safe evening and afternoon. Thank you from the Elder Herb Shop and the Herb Guy. Goodbye.